Hello and welcome to Africa Weekly News Roundup, podcast for 14th to 20th of July 2024. Coming up, Rwanda's Paul Kagame re-elected in a landslide victory. UN food supplies into Darfur stuck as flash rains cut off supply route. In Tunisia, a court has jailed an opposition leader and banned him from contesting in presidential elections. In Kenya, President William Ruto announced a new cabinet mostly composed of ministers he fired a week ago. And in Nigeria, social media giant Meta has been fined $200 million for violating user data laws. This and more coming up shortly. Rwanda's President Paul Kagame on the 18th of July secured a re-election with an overwhelming 99.18% of the vote, as announced by the National Electoral Commission. This extends his tenure to nearly a quarter-century in office. His opponents, Frank Habineza from the Democratic Green Party and independent candidate Philippe Mpayimana, conceded defeat amid claims by rights groups of a crackdown on journalists, the opposition, and civil society. The government has consistently denied these allegations. Kagame's past elections have seen him garner over 93% of the vote each time. He has been commended by Western and regional leaders for his role in ending the 1994 genocide and rebuilding Rwanda. However, his reputation has faced challenges due to accusations of domestic abuses and support for rebels in the Democratic Republic of Congo, allegations he has consistently denied. The Electoral Commission barred 8 other candidates, including Kagame's strongest critics, from running due to various reasons, such as incomplete registration documents. In Kenya, President William Ruto, in response to youth-led protests, on Friday 19th of July announced a new government, retaining 6 ministers from his previous cabinet and introducing 5 new appointees. The mass firing last week, which led to these changes, was a concession to protesters' demands following his withdrawal of a proposed $2.7 billion tax hike. Despite these moves, protests have continued, with over 50 deaths since mid-June. Ruto reappointed key ministers and shifted others, including nominating Julius Migos Ogamba as Education Minister. The new ministers of Health, Information, Agriculture, Water and Education lack political backgrounds. Ruto promised a clear roadmap for the new cabinet's assignments and deliverables next week. Moving to Tunisia now, where a court has sentenced Lotfi Mraihi, leader of the Republican Union Party and a prominent critic of President Kais Saied, to 8 months in prison for vote buying and barred him from running in presidential elections for life. While Saied, who has ruled by decree since dissolving parliament in 2021, announced his candidacy for a second term in the upcoming October 6th elections, stating his intention to continue the national liberation struggle. This announcement came on the same day that opposition leader Lotfi Mraihi was sentenced to 8 months in prison and barred from running for life, which opposition parties claim is part of Saied's efforts to suppress rivals and influence the 2024 elections. The opposition insists that fair elections cannot occur without the release of imprisoned politicians and media freedom. Saied, elected in 2019, has ruled by decree since dissolving parliament in 2021, actions he defends as necessary to combat corruption. In Sudan, heavy rains have cut off a key supply route into Sudan's Darfur region, where famine is a growing threat, leaving thousands of tons of aid stranded at the Tina crossing on the Chad border, according to the World Food Programme, WFP. This has led to reopened talks with the army-aligned government to access an alternative crossing further south at Adre. While the Rapid Support Forces, RSF, claim understandings with the UN have been reached, the army has yet to respond. Darfur faces severe hunger amidst a 15-month civil war marked by ethnic violence and massive displacement, with the WFP deeming Sudan the world's worst hunger crisis. Over to Congo now, where the governor of South Kivu province in the Democratic Republic of Congo, Jean-Jacques Purusi Sadiki, has suspended all mining activities and ordered all companies and operators to leave mining sites within 72 hours due to unspecified disorder caused by the mining operators. This decision, affecting artisanal miners of gold and tin, has been criticised as illegal and an abuse of power, with calls for the ban to be lifted. The governor has scheduled a meeting with mining operators on July 30th to assess the situation, amid concerns that the ban will severely impact the local economy and livelihoods. In business, Nigeria's competition watchdog, the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCPC, has fined Meta Platforms $220 million after a 38-month investigation revealed that Meta violated local consumer, data protection, and privacy laws by appropriating Nigerian users' data without consent and imposing exploitative privacy policies. The FCCPC stated that Meta engaged in abusive and invasive practices, failed to provide users with options to withhold consent for data sharing, and treated Nigerians disparately compared to other jurisdictions. Meta has engaged with the agency through counsels and provided some documents, but has not yet commented on the fine. And finally, Turkey is set to deploy Navy support to Somali waters, following an agreement for Ankara to send an exploration vessel to prospect for oil and gas off Somalia's coast. President Tayyip Erdogan has requested parliamentary approval for the deployment, which aligns with a recent hydrocarbon cooperation deal. This move follows a broader pattern of Turkish support for Somalia, including a defence and economic cooperation agreement signed earlier this year. Turkey has established a strong presence in Somalia, building infrastructure, providing scholarships, and operating its largest overseas military base in Mogadishu, where it also trains Somali military and police. That is what we had time for you this week. For more news, visit our website www.africadigitalibrary.com. Bye-bye.